You think your manifestation is delayed, but it is not delayed. It is divinely timed, and the law is never late. It may look like delay, it may feel like stagnation, but in truth, it is sacred protection. It is not that you are blocked. It is that you are being blessed in ways you do not yet understand. The infinite mind rearranges circumstances with perfection, but the mortal mind is impatient, restless, doubtful. And so I say, take your eyes off the clock and put them back on faith. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What you call delay is actually design. A divine design that moves you out of harm's way, out of fear's grip, and into the full, ripe season of your good. The game of life is played with courage and with stillness. The one who waits in faith always wins. The one who speaks only of delays continues to feed them. You must not speak of the delay. You must speak of the certainty. Say not, it is late, but say, it is sure. Say not, I am blocked, but say, I am guided. When nothing moves outside of you, move something inside of you. Your faith, your vibration, your decree. There are no delays in divine mind, only preparations. And the law prepares before it delivers. You cannot build a palace on shaking ground. So the law strengthens the soil beneath you before laying gold at your feet. This pause is your preparation. This stillness is your strengthening. This wait is not wasted. It is the womb of the miracle. Speak to it as such. Speak to it with reverence, for even this moment is holy. The manifestation is not late. Your alignment is catching up to your decree. Your word is always the first cause, and the moment you speak the truth with faith, the law sets itself in motion, but motion is not always visible to the eye. What you call delay is simply the invisible arranging the visible. And so I say, do not interfere with what God is perfecting. Stop digging up the seed to see if it's growing. Stop doubting your own decree. The law hears, the law acts, the law delivers. But it delivers when you are ready, not when you are restless. If the door has not opened, it is not the wrong door. It is the wrong time. And time belongs to God, so walk by faith and not by sight. If you could see what is being removed from your path, what dangers have been rerouted, what betrayals have been dissolved, you would rejoice at the so-called delay. You would weep with gratitude that heaven intervened. You would laugh at the timing and say, this is better than I ever asked. For the law brings not just what you wanted. It brings what your soul needs and your spirit has earned. Delay is not denial. It is divine redesign. It is the redirection that keeps your blessing safe. You are not waiting for your good. Your good is waiting for your trust. So build your trust. Speak your word. Bless the pause, because when it comes, it will not be late. It will be perfect. And all shall be added unto you in divine right order, under grace, in perfect ways. And so it is. You must remember, what is yours is not running from you. It is being refined for you. And what is being refined cannot be rushed. When the gold is being purified, it passes through the fire. When the soul is being reeded, it walks through the stillness. And in the stillness, you are not empty. You are expanding. Do not mistake stillness for silence. The law is never silent. It is always responding to your vibration, your thought, your word. And if the answer has not appeared, it is not because you are ignored. It is because the answer is still unfolding. You may not see the petals yet, but the flower is forming. You may not hear the music, but the orchestra is tuning. And you must not rush the music, for divine harmony plays only at its appointed time. You say you are ready. You say you are prepared. But preparation is not a thought. It is a frequency. And if your frequency carries fear, it cannot match the answer. The law matches only what is real, what is felt, what is believed. So do not try to convince the universe with your words. Convince it with your vibration. Speak your word. Yes, but feel it into being. Faith is not an emotion. It is a frequency, and frequency speaks louder than language. So if you declare abundance with your mouth, but tremble in fear with your heart, the law listens to your trembling. If you say, it is done, but walk as though it is not, the law reflects the doubt, not the declaration. This is not punishment. This is precision. The law is perfect. It cannot be fooled. It cannot be tricked. It cannot be begged. It can only be aligned with. So instead of asking, when will it come? Ask, when will I become the version of myself that matches what I've asked for? And in that becoming, you will find it was never delayed. It was waiting for you to match it. The blessing is ready. The door is carved. The path is drawn. But are you walking in the vibration of arrival, or the heaviness of waiting? The one who walks in waiting sees time. The one who walks in arrival sees truth. You are not behind. You are being brought into wholeness before you receive what wholeness requires. What you've asked for is not just a gift. It's a responsibility, and the law gives only to the ready. That is not cruelty. That is divine compassion. For the blessing that comes before alignment becomes a burden, and heaven never sends burdens. Only assignments, only abundance, only answers, and so the delay is your grace. It is your classroom. It is your refinement. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared in ways your mind cannot yet grasp. The right people are being moved. The right doors are being carved. And the old version of you, the one who doubted, feared, chased, and begged, she is being melted. She is being stripped, because what is coming cannot sit upon old identity. The new cannot build upon the broken. So the breaking must come before the birthing. And yes, it may feel uncomfortable. But even the butterfly must leave the cocoon. Even the seed must surrender the shell. You are not being punished. You are being transformed. And the transformation always happens before the triumph. Speak it now. There are no delays in divine mind. My good is mine by divine right. And it appears now, on time, in perfect form. Let your words become the soil. Let your faith be the sun. Let your joy be the water. And wait not with worry, but with worship. Wait with gratitude. Wait with praise. Because gratitude signals readiness. It tells the law, I already have what I asked for. And so it is safe to deliver it. And once it is safe, it flows like a river. You don't chase the river. You don't beg the wind. You don't plead for sunlight. You align with it. You receive it. You welcome it. This is the way of manifestation. Not pursuit but permission. You give permission by becoming what you have asked for. Not by force but by faith. Not by worry but by worship. Not by questioning the delay but by trusting the design. And the moment you align, the illusion of delay dissolves. You step into the frequency where time bends, where answers arrive before you knock, where doors open before you even touch the handle. This is the promise of divine law. And divine law never fails. You may wonder why things haven't moved. Why the answer hasn't come wrapped in ribbons the moment you declared it done. Why the phone hasn't rung, the door hasn't opened, the miracle hasn't dropped into your lap. But I must remind you, dear soul, delay is not the enemy. It is the alignment of divine timing. The subconscious, the universal law, the perfect pattern of your life. It is never asleep, never absent. It hears every word you say and every emotion you embody. So when you speak, I am ready, but feel unworthy, the universe listens not to the words, but to the tone of your heart. And so it waits. Not to deny you, but to guard you. The delay is a sacred pause, not a punishment, not a rejection, but a divine refinement. For you were never denied. You were always destined, and destiny, unlike desire, cannot be rushed. The law of manifestation does not work on force. It flows through alignment. It waits for the moment when your faith outweighs your fear, when your declaration is not just spoken but believed. You do not chase what is yours. You attract it by becoming it. A queen does not run after her crown. A river does not beg to reach the ocean. It flows, it trusts, it knows the sea will meet it. You are the river, and manifestation is the ocean calling you home. Every delay is clearing the stones that block the current. Every pause is purifying the waters of doubt. You are not being delayed. You are being prepared. Let us loop this truth until it is no longer just understood, but embodied. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are in the womb of transformation, and the universe is not punishing you. It is positioning you. For what is truly yours cannot pass you by. But what is not yet in harmony with your vibration will remain at a distance. Not to frustrate you, but to protect your garden from being harvested too soon. Think of the rose. Would you force it open with your hands? No, for in doing so you would destroy its petals. You wait, and in its time, it blooms. So too will your manifestations bloom. Not by your control, but by your surrender. Connection is key. You must become emotionally congruent with what you claim to want. You cannot speak wealth and embody fear. You cannot claim love and carry the vibration of abandonment. The law responds to your whole being, not just your words. This is why many feel frustrated. They affirm with their lips but deny with their energy. And the universe, like a mirror, does not judge. It simply reflects. So when your manifestation delays, it is asking, are you aligned? Are you ready to receive, not just in mind but in frequency? You must feel it as if it is already yours. Walk in the room as if the answer is already waiting. Speak as if the outcome is already complete. Do not beg, do not plead. Command with humility and expect with gratitude. Let us remember the delay is not in the delivery, but in the preparation. The universe is aligning people, paths, places, and possibilities far beyond what you can see. It is orchestrating a divine appointment. And sometimes it must remove what is not meant for you to make room for what is. That job that didn't call you back, that relationship that fell apart, that door that slammed shut. It was not rejection, it was redirection. For the law of divine compensation never subtracts without the intention to multiply. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are simply being shaped into the version of yourself who can carry the blessing without breaking under its weight. Let me offer you a loop of faith to carry in your soul. Nothing that is truly mine can be delayed forever. What I seek is seeking me. I do not chase, I attract. I do not strive, I align. I do not beg, I believe. Repeat it. Embody it. Live it. Let it echo in your subconscious until even your silence speaks it. You are not chasing your dreams. You are aligning with your destiny. And when you align, everything aligns with you. Doors open, paths clear. People show up not by coincidence, but by command of divine law. This is not magic. This is law, spiritual law. Immutable, unbreakable, unshakable. And so I urge you, precious soul, do not give up in the hallway. Do not lose heart in the waiting room. The doctor is not late. He is preparing the cure. The architect is not idle. He is drawing the plan. You do not build a temple in haste. You do not rush the sculptor when he's chiseling the masterpiece. You are that masterpiece. And the delay, that is the carving of your character. The refinement of your faith, the invitation to trust even when you cannot trace. For trust is the currency of manifestation. It opens the vaults of the unseen. It welcomes what has been waiting behind the veil of time. Now I offer you this, the secondary hook that strengthens the first. You are not stuck. You are safe. You are not blocked. You are being guided. The delay is not punishment. It is precision. Divine timing is not always our timing, but it is always the right timing. The universe is a perfect accountant. It never loses track. Every desire planted in divine soil is already coded with a harvest date. Your only job is to keep watering it with faith, speaking life over it, aligning your vibration to the truth that it is already yours. Let that be your work. Not forcing, not striving, but allowing. Allow. You see, the mind wants control, but the spirit wants surrender. And surrender is not passive. It is the most powerful force in manifestation. It says, I trust the process. I know I am being led. And when you stop demanding proof and start giving thanks, everything changes. Gratitude accelerates manifestation. Faith multiplies it. Worry delays it. Fear distorts it. But peace magnetizes it. So cultivate peace. Protect your vibration. Speak softly to yourself. And let delay be your teacher, not your tormentor. Call to action today. I ask you to walk differently. Talk differently. Think differently. Walk as if the door has already opened. Talk as if the answer is already given. Think as if the path is already paved. Because it is. The only question is, can you feel it? Can you receive what's already yours? This is the great secret of manifestation. You don't chase what's yours. You don't force what's destined. You simply align with the frequency of already having it. And when you do, the universe delivers not as a favor, but as a fulfillment of law. This is your time. This is your truth. This is your reminder. There is a divine choreography unfolding in your life. Even when you cannot see it, even when it looks like nothing is moving, something is always being arranged behind the curtain of time. You must understanding delay does not mean denial. It never did. And in the spiritual realm, delay often means refinement, realignment. It is not a punishment. It is protection, and not the kind of protection that keeps you small, but the kind that preserves your readiness. Because what good is your manifestation if it arrives while your belief is still shaky? What good is your answered prayer if your hands are too afraid to hold it? The universe, in its infinite mercy, withholds what you think you're ready for. Not to torment you, but to strengthen you. Because only a strengthened soul can steward a strengthened life. So when you feel the delay, don't spiral. Anchor. Anchor into the knowing that the gap between desire and delivery is the sacred ground where you become the version of you who is ready. And readiness is magnetic. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you're aligned with. That's the law. That's the truth. And alignment means embodiment. You must become it before it becomes yours. You must walk in the frequency of faith, not fear. Because fear shouts, where is it? But faith whispers, it's already mine. This is where most get lost. They confuse momentum with movement. They confuse visibility with progress. But remember this, a seed doesn't sprout the moment you plant it. It germinates in the unseen, in the quiet, in the sacred darkness. And that sacred darkness is not a void. It is a womb. It is where you grow. It is where the roots form before the bloom comes. So do not curse the quiet. Do not panic in the pause. That pause is where your power gathers. That pause is where divine timing aligns the coordinates of your next miracle. Let me say it again for the soul that keeps refreshing, that keeps checking, that keeps wondering why it's not here yet. Your manifestation is not late. It's preparing you as much as it's preparing itself. It's weaving together people you haven't met, opportunities you can't predict, doors you don't even know exist yet. And if it hasn't shown up, it's not because it's forgotten you. It's because it's being positioned perfectly. And when it arrives, it will not be a second too late. But you must meet it in energy before you meet it in reality. And that means returning to the feeling of already having it. That means visualizing not just the thing, but the version of you that has it. How do you think? How do you move? How do you speak when you are fully aligned with it? That version of you isn't panicking. That version of you is not in desperation. That version of you is in peace. That version of you trusts. And that trust is the bridge that carries you from waiting to receiving. Now, let me take you deeper, because this is where many get stuck. They affirm, they visualize, they believe. But secretly, they still doubt. They still ask, what if it never comes? That one question, that silent fear, creates an energetic interference. Because the universe doesn't respond to your words alone, it responds to your vibration. And if your vibration is laced with fear, it's like trying to tune into a station while jamming the frequency. You must clean the signal. You must become a clear channel. That means aligning your thoughts, your emotions, your words, and your actions with the energy of trust. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be sincere. You don't have to know how. You just have to know who. And that who is the divine power that governs all manifestation. The same power that turns caterpillars into butterflies. The same power that brings spring after winter. The same power that knows the exact moment to bloom the rose. That power is working for you. It hasn't forgotten you. It hasn't abandoned you. It's preparing something you couldn't even imagine asking for. So now I ask you this, can you trust the delay? Can you dance in the pause? Can you declare it done, even when nothing in the physical says it's coming? That is where your power lies. That is where the spiritual millionaires are born. Not in what they receive, but in how they believe, before it ever arrives. And I promise you, when you believe without evidence, when you praise before it appears, when you thank the universe before you even see the proof, you collapse time. You accelerate arrival. You make yourself a magnet for the miraculous. Because the universe loves a grateful heart. The divine always rushes toward the one who says, I trust you even here. So pause now. Breathe deeply. Realign. You're not behind. You're right on time. When you hold a dream in your heart and it doesn't come when you expected, the ego begins to whisper, it's not working. But the soul knows better. The soul understands that the greatest treasures are often hidden in divine delays. And sometimes, what you think is a detour is actually the exact route your spirit needs to take. The path may be unfamiliar, but it is not wrong. The delay may feel long, but it is not wasted. Every moment is a moment of refinement, every pause a moment of precision. You are not being tested to break you. You are being expanded to hold more. And expansion is uncomfortable. Expansion feels like uncertainty, like letting go, like surrender. But oh, the miracles that are born out of surrender. When you stop grasping and start allowing, you let the universe take the lead. You stop being the controller and become the co-creator. And that's where the magic happens. In the surrender. Because in surrender you don't give up. You rise up. You rise into alignment with something far greater than your plan. Think about it. How many times have you begged for something, only to realize later that not receiving it was the greatest blessing? How many times have you cried over a door that didn't open, only to find a palace behind another? You see, the delay is not only protecting you, it's redirecting you. Redirecting you to better, higher, purer, more aligned. You thought you were asking for the best, but the divine says, wait, I have better. But the human mind doesn't like to wait. It likes to rush. It likes to calculate. But your manifestation isn't a math problem. It's a miracle. And miracles don't arrive on schedules. They arrive on vibrations. So the moment you drop the timeline, the moment you stop demanding, when, and start embodying, I'm ready, the energy shifts. Your field becomes clear. You move from force to flow. And manifestation, my dear, is born in flow. Here's something else to remember. Sometimes, your manifestation is delayed because your words and your energy are speaking two different languages. You say, I trust. But your vibration screams, I'm terrified. You say, it's mine. But you keep chasing it like it's running away. True trust is not chasing. True trust is preparing. True trust is saying, I'll get ready now for what I've asked for. Because I know it's coming. Are you living like your manifestation is already on the way? Are you organizing your life for the arrival? Or are you sitting in fear, replaying the absence? Because one magnetizes, and the other repels. And the universe always responds to the strongest signal. So today I invite you, No, I challenge you to live in the knowing, to embody the version of you who has already received, to prepare the room, set the table, write the thank you note. Not because you're pretending, but because you're aligning. This is not delusion. This is devotion. This is not fantasy. This is faith. Faith that what is for you cannot pass you. Faith that if it's delayed, it's being delivered with greater beauty. Faith that you are not forgotten, not overlooked, not abandoned, but hand-held by the greatest force in the universe. You see, the moment you stop resisting the delay, it becomes sacred. It becomes a container for your next level. And that's what this is. A sacred container. A womb space for your expansion. You are not stuck. You are being grown. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The old version of you could not hold what's coming. That version needed to fall away so the new one could rise. That's what delay does. It chisels away the unnecessary, so the purest form of you can emerge. So don't ask, why hasn't it come? Ask, who am I becoming while I wait? Because that is where your power is. In the becoming. In the alignment. In the transformation. Your manifestation is not just about what you get. It's about who you become in the process. The gift is not just the thing. The gift is the growth, and growth cannot be rushed. It must be lived. It must be allowed. It must be embraced. Let the delay do its holy work. Let it stretch you, humble you, open you, awaken you. Let it teach you how to trust again. Let it remind you that you were never alone in this. Not for 1 second. And when it comes, when it comes, you'll understand why it had to take so long. You'll see how it was all woven together. You'll marvel at the divine orchestration. And you'll whisper, now I see, now I understand. So for now, stay in the vibration of expectancy, not desperation, expectancy. The kind that says, I don't know how, I don't know when, but I know who. And that is enough. Expectancy that walks like it's done, speaks like it's done, breathes like it's done. Because in the spiritual realm, it is done. Keep speaking the word. Keep holding the vision. Keep walking in faith. Because your manifestation is on the way. And when it arrives, you'll look back on this delay not as a burden, but as the blessing that built you. And when the day comes that what you've asked for finally arrives, not just in glimpses, not just in signs, but in full form, you'll smile not only because you received it, but because you became it. You will realize that the delay wasn't holding you back. It was holding you in place until you were fully prepared to receive without fear, without self-sabotage, without shrinking. Because what good is a gift if the hands receiving it are still trembling in doubt? So the universe, in its infinite mercy, held it safely in the invisible. Guarded it, protected it, matured it, until your vibration rose to meet it. And now you understand there was never a denial. There was only divine timing, divine patience, divine orchestration. That's why it seemed slow. It was being sculpted with love. And that sculpting, that molding, it wasn't just for the manifestation. It was for you. You became more peaceful, more grounded, more faith-filled. You began to speak your word with power. You began to act from vision, not panic. And you found that joy isn't reserved for the moment it arrives. Joy can exist in the waiting too. Because the waiting isn't empty. The waiting is creation in motion. It's God rearranging the chessboard of your life to place you in perfect position. So don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the delay deceive you. Under the surface, behind the curtain, everything is shifting. Doors are being opened. People are being moved. Energy is being cleared. And it is all working for your good. The vision you were given was real. The whisper in your heart was not a mistake. What you asked for still exists. It has not been taken. It has not been denied. It has only been refined. And when it comes, it will come rushing, overflowing, undeniable, not a trickle, a flood. Because the pressure of your patience was never wasted. It was watering the roots. It was anchoring your faith. It was deepening your capacity to hold what's divine. So don't ask if you're blocked. Ask if you're being built. Because that's the truth. You are not stuck. You are forgotten. You are being fortified. You are not left behind. You are being lifted. And when your manifestation arrives, it will not just be what you wanted. It will be more than you dreamed. Because the divine always returns what is yours with interest. So today, say thank you for the delay. Thank you for the growth. Thank you for not giving it to me before I was ready. Because now I see. I was not being held back. I was being held safe. And that changes everything. You are not behind. You are not off track. You are not being punished. You are being polished, shaped, readied. What you think is a delay is divine design. There is a reason the seed doesn't bloom the moment it's planted. There's a reason the butterfly doesn't emerge the moment the caterpillar rests. And there's a reason your manifestation isn't arriving the second you ask. Because the universe is not a vending machine. It is a mirror, and it reflects not what you say you want but what you are ready to hold. This is not delay. This is divine timing. And divine timing is always working for you, never against you. Pause and hear that again. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's not failure, it's formation. It's not distance, it's development. The delay you feel is not emptiness. It is preparation. It is the great alignment. It is everything rearranging, not outside of you, but within you, so that when what is meant for you comes, you won't fumble it, fear it, or doubt it. You will be the version of yourself that can hold it without shrinking. That is why the universe says not yet. Because when the universe says not yet, it is really saying, I love you too much to give this to a version of you who doesn't yet see your worth. I will wait for you to catch up to your own greatness. This is the loop we often forget. The longer the preparation, the greater the promise. The deeper the delay, the wider the door. So if you are in the season of waiting, understand this. The universe is not making you wait to hurt you. It is making you wait so it can hand you something complete, something whole, something lasting. And that something, it's not just the manifestation. It's the you that emerges on the way. Because in truth, the greatest manifestation is not what arrives. It is who you become while trusting it will. Every not yet is sacred. Every pause is power. Every delay is coded with destiny. And every time you feel that longing, that sense of, why hasn't it happened yet? That is not proof that it's missing. That is proof that it matters. And when something truly matters, it takes its time. You are not forgotten. You are being favored. There is a sorting, a sifting, a spiritual construction site around your desire. The bricks are being laid. The path is being cleared. The you that will walk it is being fortified. And all of this, though invisible, is as real as gravity. You do not need to see it to believe in it. You must believe it so deeply, you begin to live as if it's already done. This is alignment. This is the secret door most miss. Manifestation is not just about visualizing the end. It's about becoming the version of you who is already there. It's about asking yourself, how would I think, speak, walk, breathe if I knew it was already done? And then doing exactly that. Not as pretense, but as prophecy. Because faith is not pretending. Faith is prophesying with your energy. And the universe reads energy more than it reads words. So if you're saying, why isn't it here? But your energy is laced with fear, the universe does not punish you. It pauses. Not to hurt you, but to help you clean the signal, to help you come back to trust. Because trust is the bridge, trust is the invitation, trust is the frequency that matches the manifestation. Not just what you say out loud, but what you say in silence, in stillness, in the private chambers of your own thoughts. And this is where the loop continues. Because when you trust, you relax. When you relax, you receive. When you receive, you rise. When you rise, you align. And when you align, everything shifts, not because you forced it, but because you flowed with it. So flow, not with fear, but with faith, because fear delays, but faith delivers. Now listen closely, beloveding. The manifestation is not late. It's layered. It's building something in you before it arrives for you. That courage you've been forced to build. That's not a side effect. That's a sacred effect. That's strength you've had to summon. That's not accidental. That's essential. Because when what you've asked for arrives, it will require a stronger, steadier, more certain version of you. And this version of you, the one growing right now, is the one the universe trusts. So stop calling this delay. Start calling it design. Start seeing it as a divine setup for something far more aligned than anything you could force. Because what's delayed is not denied. It's defined. Defined by love, by timing, by what your soul needs, not just what your ego wants. And when you finally receive it, you'll say, thank God it didn't come when I first asked. Because now, you are ready. You are not just ready to get it, you are ready to keep it. And keeping a manifestation requires more power than attracting it. So the universe has been building you in secret. Don't resent the process. It's refining your capacity. Don't curse the quiet seasons. They are rich with whispers. Don't rush the arrival. What's coming is too good to be delivered half-baked. You don't want crumbs when a feast is being prepared. You asked for it. You prayed for it. You wrote it down, visualized it, and held it close to your heart. So where is it? Why hasn't it arrived yet? Why does it feel like everyone else is moving forward, while you're stuck in the same place, watching life happen without you? Let me tell you why, and let me tell you gently. Because the universe is more interested in your foundation than your fantasy. The delay is not a denial of your dream. It's a strengthening of your structure. It's grace in disguise. And if you could see what it's saving you from, you'd fall to your knees in gratitude for every no, every wait, every unanswered prayer. Because this is the truth. A manifestation without maturity becomes a trap. A blessing without inner readiness becomes a breakdown. You don't want it fast. You want it right. You want it to last. You want it to feel peaceful when it arrives, not panicked. And that's what delay does. It gives you time to become, to align, to prepare, to stretch into the shape of the life you're calling in. Because manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. It is embodiment. It is the natural outcome of being in rhythm with divine law. So let me ask you something. And I ask with love, are you truly in rhythm with the life you say you want? Or are you still carrying beliefs, fears, and frequencies that don't match it? Are you still entertaining people, habits, or patterns that whisper, "You're not enough," because the universe will not deliver what you ask for. It delivers who you are. It mirrors back to your most consistent energy. And if your dominant energy is fear, you manifest more fear. If it's trust, you magnetize what's meant. So be honest with yourself, what are you radiating right now? Because that's the real work. That's the secret. That's why it's delayed. Not to punish you, but to wake you up to your own vibration. And this is where most people miss it. They think the wait is about time. But it's not about time. It's about transformation. The version of you who made the request is not the same version who'll receive it. You're being transformed into someone who doesn't just want peace. You become peace. Who doesn't just want abundance. You embody abundance. Who doesn't just want love. You become the space where love lives. And that version of you, that version cannot be rushed. She must be nurtured. She must be cultivated. She must be born slowly in the quiet fires of spiritual growth. So don't resent the waiting. Rejoice in it. Use it. Let it shape you. Let it humble you. Let it clean the corners of your heart. Let it teach you how to trust without evidence, to walk without sight, to praise without proof. That is power. That is mastery. That is manifestation in its purest form. When you can bless the space between no longer and not yet, you've already won. Because you've become what most people never dog. Unshakable in faith, unbreakable in spirit, unstoppable in love. And yes, I know there are days where you feel tired of being strong, tired of believing, tired of waiting. But may I remind you, even in the awareness, you are growing. Even in the silence, you are being heard. Even in the unseen, you are being guided. Nothing is still. Everything is shifting. What feels like a pause is often a pivot. What feels like a delay is often a detour away from what would have broken you. The divine is not toying with you. The divine is training you. And there is a difference. You're not forgotten. You're being forged. So keep speaking your desires as if they've already arrived. Keep waking up like today is the day it shifts. Keep showing up like your future self is already watching. Because she is. And she's rooting for you. Because she knows the truth, everything you asked for is already yours. It's just waiting on your alignment to catch up. The life you want, it exists. It's real. It's waiting for you to remember who you are and what you're worthy of. That's the delay. Not outside of you. Inside of you. And when that clicks, when you no longer chase but attract, you'll see how close it always was. Because here's the miracle. The moment you no longer need it to feel whole, is the moment it comes. The moment you no longer beg for it, is the moment you become magnetic to it. You stop grasping and start glowing. You stop striving and start aligning. That's the sacred shift. That's what the delay is training you for. So bless the delay. It's sacred ground. It's holy space. It's where your old self dies and your true self is born. It's where ego is stripped and truth is revealed. It's where timelines dissolve and trust takes over. And once you've passed through this fire, you'll never beg for what's yours again. You'll speak, and it will appear. You'll trust, and it will flow. You'll ask, and it will align. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. The delay is not a test of your patience. It's a revelation of your power. And darling, you are powerful beyond belief. Don't forget that. Don't forget that the same force that created oceans and stars lives in you. That your words are spells. That your faith bends reality. That your love reorders timelines. You are not waiting on something outside of you. You are waking up what's already within. So rise. Rise into trust. Rise into gratitude. Rise into joy before the thing arrives. That's the signal. That's the frequency. That's the portal. And when you do that, when you live like it's already done, the universe will do what it always does: respond in kind. And it won't be slow. It'll be sudden. It'll be swift. It'll be soft like grace and strong like a storm. And it'll feel like this: I knew it all along. Because you did. And you always have. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when you realize the power is not out there. It's in you. The delays you feared were not a punishment, but a pause long enough for you to remember who you are. You are not a beggar of the universe. You are a co-creator with it. You are not chasing what is yours. You are drawing it in, and the only thing that ever blocked it was the belief that you were separate from it. Florence Scovel Shinn said it simply: man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. That's it. That's the law. If you see yourself unworthy, you repel what is yours. If you see yourself abandoned, you walk as if life has left you behind. But if you see yourself loved, worthy, chosen, you shift, and your life shifts with you. Because manifestation is not about control. It's about consciousness. Raise your consciousness, and the reality must follow. It's not theory, it's law. So part 7 begins with one sacred truth: you are not waiting for a miracle. You are becoming the miracle. You are not just trying to attract love, abundance, healing, purpose. You are aligning with the part of you that already has it, already walks in it, already knows it is done. And when you walk as if it's done, everything in the universe begins to treat you like it's done too. Not because you forced it, but because you matched it. You mirrored what you desired, and it had no choice but to show up. You're not late. You're right on time. But I know how it feels when everything you've prayed for seems just out of reach. I know the HE of asking, why not now? But child, delay does not mean denial. Delay is divine design. Delay is not punishment. It is preparation. You are not being ignored. You are being refined. You are being made strong enough, wise enough, deep enough to hold what you've asked for without breaking under the beauty of it. Because sometimes a blessing too early becomes a burden, and the divine does not give you a burden disguised as a blessing. The divine gives only truth, and truth arrives when you are fully aligned with it. You say you are ready, but are you ready to release what no longer fits? You say you are open, but are you open to change? You say you are waiting, but are you waiting with faith or with fear? You say you want to manifest love, but are you still clinging to wounds that whisper, I'm not worthy? You say you want abundance, but are you speaking scarcity with every breath? You see, delay is often the echo of our own contradiction. You are not being denied. You are being mirrored. Life reflects not what you wish for, but what you deeply believe. Not what you speak once, but what you declare every day through thought, through feeling, through frequency. So ask yourself gently, what are you truly believing in this moment? Are you believing in divine timing? Or are you doubting your worth? Are you trusting the process? Or are you fighting it because you cannot yet see the outcome? Your manifestation is not delayed because it is lost. It is delayed because something in your inner landscape must align with it. The frequency of what you want cannot live in the energy of who you used to be. That's why you've been called to release, to surrender, to purify your belief, to stand in the power of trust, even when your outer world hasn't caught up yet. That is the hidden gift of delay. It becomes a spiritual teacher. Delay reveals what you still carry. Delay exposes the parts of you still needing healing. Delay is not the absence of your manifestation. It is the sacred preparation for its arrival. And if you keep asking, why isn't it here yet? Maybe the answer is Q, because it's not safe yet to arrive. Not until you trust your own worth. Not until you believe that peace is more powerful than panic. Not until you surrender the timeline and worship the alignment. That's the path. The path is not force. It is flow. The path is not panic. It is presence. Your manifestation is waiting on your embodiment. Not your words, not your thoughts alone, but your state of being. And you embody it by living it now, not later. Now, speak like it's done. Walk like it's real. Breathe like it's yours. When you live from the end, you magnetize it faster. But when you live from lack, you delay it deeper. The universe is not holding back. It is holding space. For you, for your growth, for your becoming. And every time you choose alignment over anxiety, you shorten the distance. You collapse time. So stop fighting the weight. Start finding the wisdom in it. Because this is not empty space. It's sacred space. It's where you become the version of you who is ready to hold the blessing without fear of losing it. Without fear of not being enough for it. Without fear, period. That's the miracle. That's the real manifestation. The version of you who trusts so deeply that even silence sounds like confirmation. Who trusts so deeply that even waiting feels like walking forward. You see, when you are in alignment, waiting is not passive. It's powerful. It's purposeful. It's your soul-building capacity. So build that capacity. Stretch into faith. Speak to your future like it's already seated at your table. Stop asking, when? And start declaring, now. Not because it has shown up, but because you know it will. And what you know, you become. What you become, you attract. That's the frequency shift. That's the energetic yes the universe responds to. Not your worry, your worth. Not your questions, your calm. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not blocked. You are being built. You are being trained. You are being aligned. And everything that is delayed is still on its way. But not to the version of you stuck in doubt. It's coming to the version of you who finally sees the delay not as punishment, but as protection. Not as silence, but as strategy. Not as withholding, but as wisdom. So let go of the calendar. Hold tight to the calling. Let go of your grip. Not because you've given up, but because you've given into a higher rhythm. A divine rhythm. A rhythm that is never late, never lost, and always loving. Your life is not on pause. It's on purpose. Every detour, every delay, every door that didn't open. All of it is making space for the one that will. And when it does, you won't be rushing in with desperation. You'll walk in knowing it was always meant for you. Because the truth is out, you are not waiting for the manifestation. The manifestation is waiting for you to become the version of yourself who no longer chases, no longer questions, no longer begs. It is waiting for the version of you who walks in certainty, who speaks in gratitude, who aligns without attachment. And once you meet that version, manifestation isn't something you watch for. It becomes something you live from. So live from it now. Embody it now. Believe it now. Because your delay is not the end of the story. It's the space before the page turns. And when the page turns, it won't be slow. It'll be sudden. It'll be swift. It'll be everything at once. And you'll realize it wasn't delayed. It was perfectly timed. It was never about the thing. It was always about you becoming the one who could receive it. And child, you're becoming. You always have been. There is something sacred about the space between desire and arrival. This is where most people feel lost. But it is here, in this invisible territory, that the soul is refined. When the manifestation has not yet appeared, the human mind panics. But the spiritual mind, it leans in. It asks, what is this moment trying to give me? Because what you call a delay may be a delivery of something greater than you imagined. Not of the thing, but of the version of you who will be able to hold the thing with ease, not fear. You are not waiting. You are being sculpted. We think manifestation is only about getting. But Florence always talks it's about becoming. The manifestation comes not to validate you, but because you are vibrating in such alignment with truth that it has no choice but to appear. That's why delays often mean divine preparation. Not punishment, not abandonment. Preparation. The law is exact and it is never late. It is patient with your becoming. And so, the time between the prayer and the promise is not wasted. It is where you either deepen your faith or delay your growth. But the choice is always yours. Let's say this again so your soul hears it clearing. You are not being blocked. You are being prepared. Your desire was not denied. It was handed over to divine timing. You are not abandoned. You are being watched over. And in every unseen movement, there is alignment in progress. The invisible realm is not empty. It is more alive than you know. It is where your future already exists. And what seems like a delay is just the orchestration of countless unseen details all lining up for your good. But if you panic in the pause, you interrupt the flow. That is why so many spiritual seekers never see what they affirm. Because they affirm with their lips, but they contradict with their energy. They say, I believe, but they live like they are afraid. They declare it is done, but they keep checking to see if it's arrived. Doubt weakens the signal. Desperation delays the delivery. The universe does not respond to how loudly you ask. It responds to how completely you believe. So if you want the manifestation to come sooner, embody the vibration sooner. And that vibration is peace, not rush, not urgency. Peace. Peace says, I know it's coming, and I don't have to chase it. Peace says, I trust the delay, because divine delays carry divine design. Peace says, I do not beg for what is mine, I prepare for it. That is the difference. That is the secret. Manifestation is not magic, it's a law, and laws require order, not emotional chaos. So when you find yourself spiraling, come back to this truth: the law is still working. But are you? Because the law is perfect, and it's always on. What delays it is your energy, your resistance, your need to control, your addiction to outcomes. You say you want abundance, but you keep vibrating in lack. You say you want love, but you speak like someone who doesn't believe they're lovable. You say you're ready, but you still act like it could slip away. That's not readiness. That's fear in disguise, and manifestation cannot bloom in fear. It needs the soil of surrender. It needs the air of certainty. It needs the light of faith. Florence said, fear is only inverted faith. It is faith in the wrong direction. So when you feel afraid that your manifestation is delayed, ask yourself, what am I putting my faith in right now? Am I putting faith in doubt, in timelines, in appearances? Or am I putting my faith in the law, in spirit, in what is unseen but promised? The delay is not a void. It is a mirror. It is showing you where you are still split between fear and faith. And when you bring yourself back into full trust, unwavering trust, everything begins to move again. So breathe. Surrender is not weakness. It's alignment. It says, I'm no longer trying to manipulate the process. I am magnetizing the outcome by embodying the frequency now. That is the power Florence taught. Speak it, believe it, rest in it. You are not the door of the miracle. You are the aligner with it. And when your vibration matches the reality you want, it must come. Not maybe. It must, because the law doesn't play favorites. It only responds to frequency. When you're in delay, shift your questions. Don't ask, why hasn't it come? Ask, who am I becoming in this waiting? Because that version of you, the one being stretched, refined, elevated, that's the version who will hold the blessing with peace. That's the version who won't sabotage it. That's the version who sees delay not as denial, but as divine choreography. It's easy to trust when it's instant, but growth happens when it's not. The version of you that can handle sudden manifestation without fear, doubt, or collapse. That's the version the universe is preparing in the pause. You are being built, you are being fortified, and every day you wake up and declare, it is already mine. Even when your eyes don't see it, you become a spiritual giant, not because you forced it, but because you allowed the law to shape you. So pause right now and feel this: your manifestation is not late. It's right on time with your growth. It's aligned with your surrender. It's arriving not when you think you deserve it, but when your vibration can hold it in grace. And that's not punishment. That's love. Divine love never rushes. It delivers in perfect time. And this moment of delay, is not empty. It is pregnant with transformation. It is filled with clues, with growth, with sacred preparation. Let the delay become your training ground. Let it teach you unwavering faith. Let it strip away your urgency and replace it with trust. Because the more you surrender, the more you align. The more you align, the faster it arrives. Not because you chased it harder, because you finally became the one who could hold it fully. And so, beautiful soul, the delay is not against you. It's for you. It's for your refinement, your clarity, your peace. Don't waste it panicking. Use it to prepare. Use it to align. Use it to remember what Florence always said: infinite spirit opens the way for my immediate supply. And if it's not here yet, then the way is still opening, and you are still becoming. And that is sacred. That is holy. That is powerful.